Paige, it's a pleasure to be speaking with you again, and not one of those rock the block things where there's like 8 other people. So you have to go, hey, did I get enough time with Paige here? So one-on-one, I appreciate it. And how's your day going so far?
Well, Darren, I appreciate it as well. I know that whole Brady Bunch situation was a lot going on.
Yeah.
It's great. It's one-on-one. I'm here. I'm happy. It's a great day.
You're not sharing the spotlight with a new kid on the block this time around.
Listen, I love John. In fact,
I do too.
He was watching my show last night and he said, hey, pretty, I see you. And I was like, oh, John, I love you so much. Heart of gold. But listen, when he's around, I know my lane. Okay, so I just let him be the new kid.
Well, it's really impressive to see the career that you have going on, in that I can tape a junket with you, 6-8 weeks ago, and that's a totally different show. And then here's another season of Fix My Flip. So you're filming multiple shows in the period of months with one another. Where you are right now, is that where you thought that you would be years ago?
It's where I hoped I would be. One thing about HGTV and just the amazement of this amusement park of home renovation shows is that they really lean into who you are, your show. If you're good, they want to make you great, And so like being a part of Rock the Block or Hometown Kickstart, Hometown Takeover, Fix My Flip, I'm like, this is really happening. Like I'm on their Ferris wheel, And so I'm very grateful. And I had hoped to be on this ride, with all these other great talents on the network. And here I am. And now we're one-on-one. It's crazy.
That was a good tie-in. It's almost like you've done this before. You've done the thing before. But I mean, with the HGTV world, it's unique from other TV franchise worlds where not only do you get to host numerous shows, you then can be an author, you can be a keynote speaker, you can have your product line at a fine home goods store. It's really, it seems like how much do you want to work? Yeah, you can work that much.
Oh, I love that. You are absolutely right. That is exactly how it is. The more you put in and lean into the opportunity, the more it can really, for better lack of term, pay you out, and just increase your exposure, in my real estate world, in my real estate office with, product lines. I mean, it's never ending,
It's never ending. So this new season of Fix My Flip, when did you actually film it? And I know, hey, a 30-minute or 60-minute show obviously took 5 to 10 days over the course of a period, not consecutive days.
So our 60-minute show that after commercials is only about 43 minutes. We started filming last August and we stopped filming this past Tuesday.
Oh my. Okay, so that's very similar to a movie where movies there could be reshoots and also
no, because with flipping, once it's shot, it's shot. If it's done, it's done. But I left for 6 weeks to film Rock the Block, and I didn't come back because my breathing was so awful in Colorado. My doctor said, if you can, just stay, because the back and forth, I mean, it's wearing you down. So we had a lot of pickups, but actually with flipping shows comes the real life side that we don't always talk about, which is permits, materials. And so my interview portion on the show where I kind of come in like this, where I'm talking to you, that was actually what I flipped. So all of the homes have been done since January. So we filmed technically from August to January, and then everything else was just me in post doing the interview portion.
A part that you just mentioned there, I don't think the average person realizes the permit part of those shows. HGTV, I'm sure, has every permit office on speed dial, though.
No, HGTV has nothing to do with the permits.
Also, the production company has to do it independent of HGTV.
The production company has nothing to do with the permits.
Page Turner? Wow,
so
okay.
On my show, so on my first show, Flip or Flop Nashville, we, my ex-co-host and I, we were the actual flippers. So we were responsible for those permits for everything from A to Z. On Fix My Flip, I'm coming in to help struggling flippers. So they already have their permits most of the time, already turned in. Unless I come in, I want to change some things around, take a wall down, add a wall, then we have to go back in and reapply for the permit. So it's between me and the flippers.
In some industries or trades, people can be friends with their peers. Can flippers be friends with each other easily?
Well, they should be able to. I mean, you should be able to shake hands and kiss babies with your competition. I don't see Taco Bell too worried about, Del Taco. You know what I'm saying? They still live across the street from each other. It's just who has the prettier product. But, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not one of these other, network realtors that, come in and I don't do all that. You know what I'm saying? I shake hands, I kiss babies, I love on people. I feel like I need you, you need me to be successful. So let's just hug it out.
Well, I was taking that from the angle of the personality type of the flipper. My opinion, not yours. Smartest person in the room. They're playing chess, not checkers. They're thinking 5 steps ahead. In other words, they walk into that house and they go, I know what I can do with it. I know the price of all this kind of thing. And they probably see another flipper and they go, oh, that's another smart person.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, you should know. In that case, then you should know what your competition is doing. You should sneak around. Yeah. I mean, and you have to know what's going on in the immediate neighborhood anyway, because you don't want to price yourself out of your flip just because, Mr. So-and-so or Ms. So-and-so over here is doing XYZ. You really should know the entire neighborhood and see what's going on.
So the professions that we're talking about are all encompassing, all consuming kind of things. When you're filming, you are filming because you have to feel good, you have to look good, etc. What do you do to turn off and escape that whole world of high pressure flipping in television?
Great question, because I do have to do that. So I work out like a maniac. I was at Pilates at 7 o'clock this morning. The interview started at 8:30 and I was like, oh God, I want to sleep in, but I can't because that is my exhale. And then on the weekends, I go straight out here. We have great hiking trails in LA. So I go hike, I have to stay outdoors or I go straight to the beach. If I have a hard day, I grab my old school notebook and a pen. I put my phone down and I go write and I just go sit and think and watch the ocean. So you have to have that downtime or else it's not good from the inside out. You won't be healthy. I can't think straight. I can't work straight and I get grumpy, so I make sure to make those, my me times.
Do you vacation or is the vacation to you the staycation?
I love to vacation, but just think of what we just spoke about. I literally was on 5 shows from last August until now. So my staycations where I can just shut down and watch some Succession or Yellow Jackets or when Ozark was on last year, I really appreciate those times during the heavy filming schedule. But then for my birthday, I just turned 50, Darren, Jesus, 50.
Okay. Well, so obviously you're doing something right there. So are there endorsements? Is there a skincare line of things also in the works?
No, my mama gave me good genes. But for my birthday, I wanted to go out of the country, but I just didn't have time. So I did a girls trip to Miami real quick, but it was much needed, 5 days there. Got to go spend my 50th birthday with my sweet mom, who's 83. She lives on the other side of Florida. So, those things matter most, time spent with the quality of the time spent with my people matter most right now.
Is there an exit strategy for all this career success?
I have an exit strategy. I sure do. You know what it is? Because this might be holding up now, but my exit strategy, Darren, is behind the camera. I am an avid creator of content and I created my first show. I was put into Flip or Flop Nashville, but my pilot started out as Joined the Flip, where I actually pitched it and it worked. And then now he's my manager, he's my business partner, production partner, and he's my brother, Freddie Bell. We co-created Fix My Flip. And so we have other shows that we're shopping as well. And then, I get some hits under my belt and then, ride on out.
Wow, it's fantastic to see that you're able to think that far ahead and all that, because a lot of people would go, I don't know, one project at a time. So you're thinking long-term on all that. In terms of the producing, it's great to see that you have the bandwidth to propel other people's careers upward, because a lot of people go, I'm only focused on me here. Do you have an entertainment industry mentor?
No. Just like I didn't have a mentor in flipping, I wish I would have had one. I don't yet. I would love to have one. I have a good, people say team, people might think it's a dozen people around. That's not my team. My team is just 3 of us. So, but there's strong people who hold my ladder who look out for me. If I'm looking this way, they're making sure that they look this way so I don't miss everything because they know I am one person. And I think, building that type of team is so important. And I do long for a mentor though, but right now it's just us three and we're just forging ahead and, figuring this thing out.
How many of the three were there, say 3 years ago?
Well, one of the three were there 30 years ago. I call him my brother, but he's my best friend. We've known each other since 30 years ago. And then my other team member, it's been since 2019, so about 4 years now.
Freddie Bell is a really stage name kind of name, as is Paige Turner. Somebody's really good with the branding.
Thank you. And you know what? I never call him Freddie. I always call him Freddie Bell for some reason. I'm like, Freddie Bell.
Yeah, because you both have names that when you go to Starbucks, they're not going to misspell them on the cup.
They're not. Well, they put an I in my name sometimes, but that's normal. That's normal.
Well, 2 quick questions, and then I'm going to let you roam free. And you mentioned Succession and Yellow Jackets before, but are you a big TV person in general? And I ask that because a lot of people who are on TV, the second they have free time, they go, I want to do the exact opposite of work. So they stay as far away as possible. No,
I am an avid TV watcher because I want to know what's going on. I get the quarterly, mandates that come out, and I want to see that. Now that's where, flipping is one thing, but because I know that this is where I want my next chapter to go. Yeah. I like to see what the competition is. What are people creating? What are people watching? What's getting the most views? And so I watch TV late at night. During the day, it's not on. I watch a little bit of the news and I'm like, I just get it from my phone. But at nighttime, because I'm a night owl, which is horrible, especially when I'm filming, I can't do that. But I turn on some shows at nighttime. So I like TV. Now, I don't watch HGTV all day.
Yes, you do. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. I watch the shows that my friends are on.
I think you're the only Pilates night owl that I've ever encountered.
Oh man, well, I'm addicted to Pilates. Morning, night, I just, it's so easy just to go over there real quick, have a quick 43-minute class and then come right back. I'm so addicted to it because I just found it. So I don't know if it's because I'm a newbie in it, but I love it. I love it.
This is not the last question, but my wife has one of those upright foldable Pilates machines. Do you have one of those at home? No, I've never used one of those. I go to a studio, but I'm not just on a Pilates board. I do the mega transformer. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. It's the big pop-up. So I've never that's how I started Pilates. I didn't even start the normal way. So somebody said, you're not just doing Pilates. I was like, what am I doing? I was like, this isn't normal Pilates. I had no idea. So now I'm stuck with it. For now. Yeah. I have a feeling you'll come around on it. But the last question for Ms. Paige Turner, what's the last concert you went to for fun?
The last concert I went to for fun. Oh my gosh, why can't I think right now? The last concert I went to for fun. Well, right now, for some reason, my best friend and I went to see Faith Hill. Oh my God, she's my best friend in my head. But for Faith, that was like 2019. So
that was just a few years ago.
But Darren, have I been to a concert since 2019?
Well, let's help you through it right here. What's the closest amphitheater to you? That would be Hollywood Bowl, something like that. Yeah. Probably no Hollywood Bowls for you. Was there like a summer jam? Was there a?
I went to the Hollywood Bowl. Duran was there a couple last year. Yeah.
Okay. Was that with Chic and Grace Jones?
Grace wasn't there.
Chic was? You saw Nile Rodgers?
Yeah.
You saw a fantastic concert then.
Yeah, I was there. Was that 2 years ago? Sheesh, Darren, that's such a good question. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now.
I do, because you're on like 6 TV shows and you're doing Pilates and you're celebrating your birthday, and there's no dull moments for Paige Turner. That's why.
I can't think. I'm sure it was great wherever I was though, but I was at the Hollywood Bowl. I do remember that one.
Well, Paige, thank you for your time. Thank you for the many years of great entertainment, and looking forward to whatever's to come soon.
Darren, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to see you. I'm glad to be one-on-one with you. So I look forward to it again.
Paltrocast.